Hey everyone, sorry that I could not be there this first week. I just want to real quickly introduce myself. I am Cheryl Weston. I have been teaching at Western for 20 plus years, and I've been teaching principles of financial accounting, managerial, advising for the master's program. My background is in accounting. I worked in public accounting. I've worked in banking. I've had my own businesses over throughout the years. This is the first time I actually don't currently have my own business, but am looking to start up something new here within the next year. So anyway, that's a little bit about me. I'll get to know you all more when I am back in the classroom, which will be next week. So next Tuesday, we will start meeting in Stipes 121 for Accounting 201. So anyway, let me do a quick review of the syllabus. There will be a short quiz for some extra credit points. I'll talk more about that later on. But just to kind of quickly go over the syllabus, I'm not going to go into great detail. I assume you all can read. There's my contact information. These are my office hours. My office has moved. I'm now in Stipes 420, and that's when you can find me there. Otherwise, send me an email, or there's some other ways to get in touch with me through Connect, which we'll talk about that when we have the Connect video. Accounting 201 is principles of financial accounting. So we'll talk more about what financial accounting means. And that's probably when you think of accounting, you're thinking of financial accounting. So that's going to be your financial statements, an income statement, or you might call it a profit and loss statement, a balance sheet. When you think of all those accounting terms, we're going to be learning all of that in this course. So it really is the basis for any business as far as their financial information. So these are basic definitions that you're going to see in any business, whether you're in, manufacturing or you're in a service industry. They're all going to pretty much have the same types of financials. So we're going to learn about those student outcomes. You can take a look at that. If you are an accounting major, you do need a C in 201 and 202, which is the next course to advance. Here's the information about the textbook. I don't use a print textbook. We are going to use a McGraw-Hill product. So you do need to purchase access to McGraw-Hill Connect. So if you're buying that at the bookstore, it's a Connect access code. Or you can buy it online through Connect when you register, and it is good for a whole year, and it provides an electronic textbook. So you don't need to buy anything that's printed. If you do that, that's extra, but you do have to have the Connect access. We will be meeting in person next week and for the remainder of the semester. So most of our communication will be through class. Obviously, I'll put some announcements out on Western Online. Possibly we'll email you. If I email people, it's going to be using your WIU email address. So make sure you are checking that or have it forwarded to something where you do check it. My email address right there, ca-weston. So Western without the R, so West 10. If you email me, sometimes it gets confusing because I have several classes online, in person, and different courses. It is helpful if you say I'm in your 201 classroom class or something like that. Um, Most everything we do in here is going to be through Connect, but you access that through Western Online. So all the things that you need to do as far as due dates and things for your grades, that will pop up on Western Online. So hopefully you're already using the Pulse app. So if you click on this link here, that's going to get you set up with Pulse app notifications. So when you've got something due, it can send you an email and it can send you a text message, whatever you prefer. I would say do both. That way you hopefully don't miss any assignments. So I highly recommend setting up that. That would be great for all of your classes, not just this one. And if you need some help with it, there are some instructions. You can take a look at that. But like I said, most things will be using Connect, but that does flow through the due dates and everything to Western Online. So there is some technology. If you need help with Western Online, here's all the links. They are using like a chat system now. If you need help in Western Online, there's a system check for whatever computer you might be using. And so you can just click on those hot links in the syllabus, and you should have access to the syllabus from the announcements on Western Online, or I should have emailed it to the class list that I had before I was out of town. Anyway, UTech is good for if you can't log into your ecom account, your WIU ecom account. They're actually located in Stipes, but you can connect with them virtually or by phone or just walk into 126 downstairs. They can help you. And then other technical things, if you have issues with Connect, you can run a troubleshoot on your computer. They have a customer support. If you're ever actually in Connect and have a problem, I just advise you while you're on your computer to actually pick up your phone and call, and generally they can help you right there. And they do have really good hours. As far as getting registered in Connect, there is a lovely video here that you can click on that to see how to register and connect. And this is something I would have normally done in class, but I'm going to direct everyone to there. So after you've reviewed the syllabus, then your next thing is going to be registering and connect. And this video can help you walk through that. I'll also post a short video having myself go over some of the things about Connect. So let's get into the nitty-gritty about the class. It is a 16-week semester. Hallelujah. They didn't condense this to 8 weeks. It is 16 weeks. Trust me, you'll appreciate that. We are going to cover 11 chapters. Each chapter has similar assignments, at least two assignments, a smart book assignment and a homework assignment. And I'll show you what those look like in a minute. And then we will have a quiz, what I call a mini test before each exam. And then you'll have an exam. The exams are going to be given in person, but they will be on a computer. So we'll either go to a computer lab or possibly bring in laptops. If you have them, you don't need to have one. I will be scheduling a computer lab for those. Also, before each exam, there's going to be an Excel assignment. If you're not very familiar with Excel, I'll have you definitely go to the tutor lab or come see me for additional assistance. We'll talk about those more as the due dates come up. Okay, so here are resources that you have. You've got your textbook. It is an electronic book that you access through Connect. There are PowerPoint slides. I feel like everyone forgets about these. You can print them off and bring them to class and, use it to write in your own notes. That would be awesome. There's some additional textbook things that they have, overview videos, and some videos on Excel, I think. Practice sets of homework, I put those out there and Connect if you want to practice. It is not for a grade, but it's just for practice. That's why they're labeled practice. The tutor lab, we do have a tutor lab just for accounting students. It is located in Stipes 306. I will let you know the hours. I'll post that in a Western Online announcement. They are going to be open the first week to help out for anyone having problems with registration. I will also post that in the Western Online announcement. So you can pop in there if you have any problems with the syllabus, getting registered, and all of that. So Anisha and Kayla will both be working this semester. They are Master of Accounting students and graduate assistants for the department, so they will be very helpful. Let's see. Oh, yeah, and you can come see me too, just not next week. All right. So, assignments. So, for every chapter, there's a smart book assignment. It's worth 10 points. I'll do a quick overview of Connect where I'll show you those. Basically, you're answering multiple choice questions. You can answer incorrectly, and it'll keep re-asking you the question until you get that correct. Basically, you have to complete all the concepts, answer those questions correctly at some point in time in order to get the 10 points. Um, you need to complete it by a specific due date and time in order to get the 10 points. Homework assignments, these will be problems and exercises like what we do in class. There will be things like doing accounting journal entries and questions about definitions, a little bit there, doing financial statements, and those are worth 20 points. They also have due dates. You do have access to lots of resources. You can come see me. You can go to the tutor lab. There's a check my work that's built in, and I will show you all that in the next video. So lots of resources there. So both of those assignments, so 10 points for SmartBook, 20 points for the homework, you should be getting all of those points for every chapter. So that's going to be how much of your grade? That's going to be a third of your grade. So that's just a matter of putting in the time and getting the work done. You should be 100% on those. Before each exam, we've got 3 exams. You're going to have an Excel simulation assignment. Basically, you're going to take an end of chapter problem and just do it in Excel. So again, you've got all your resources available to you when you do that. Help from me, the tutor lab. Um, you can work together for things like this, but everything that you submit needs to be your own work. So keep that in mind. There's algorithmic problems and all of that. So make sure you're submitting your own work. Before each exam, there'll also be a quiz. I call those mini tests. On the mini tests, you don't have access to check my work. You only have one attempt to do it. Everything else, you have multiple attempts. So it is a little bit tougher. It's trying to get you ready for the exam. Those are going to be worth about 30 to 35 points, depending on the material that we're covering. And then that leads you to the exams. Each exam is 120 points. It's going to cover the material that we had just previously covered in the last chapters, in the chapter since the last exam. So 3 exams, 120 points each. That's going to be, over a third of your grade. So you do need to perform on the exams. You're probably not going to be at 100% like what you are with the homework, but hopefully you can do well on those as well. You do have to use just your brain, a calculator. You can have a scratch card, a note card to bring in with you, with whatever you want to put on it for the exam. We'll talk about these assignments. The comprehensive accounting cycle problem, I use that in place of a final comprehensive exam. This is kind of a comprehensive problem of everything we've done. So that's going to be 5% of your grade. Again, you'll have time to do that and be able to access resources as you perform that problem. Career builders, we'll talk more about that. That's just going to a presentation, an accounting presentation. There'll be several throughout the semester. You do a little write-up about it and submit those. So you need to do 2 of those. You could do another one for extra credit. And then the getting started, I added points to this because, again, I'm missing that first week of class. So I will show you those getting started, things that you're going to get points for in the next video when I talk about registering and Connect. Part of it is watching this video, and there'll be a short quiz then on the syllabus. Attendance. Yay, I want you to come. Please come. If you come to class, do your work, get it submitted on time, you're going to pass, no problem. You should be excelling then and doing excellent on the exams. But at a minimum, come to class, be an active participant. You don't have to get up and write your answers on the board, but you do have to work on the problems when we're working on them in class. Even better if you come prepared and maybe actually have looked at something ahead of time. Woo! Is that necessary? No, it would be awesome, but just at least in class, coming and doing your best to keep up with the class. No cell phones, no earbuds, no headphones, no laptops or tablets. Why? Because it's so easy to get distracted. So you've probably been, if you're even listening to this, have been on your phone, maybe have your headphones in, trying to do five other things. So here's the deal. People can't multitask or they can't multitask well. So just forget about it. You can't do it. If you handwrite things, that is way better than typing it out on a computer. It helps you to memorize it. Stop, repeat, put it in your own words, write it down, teach someone else how to do it. Those are things that improve your learning. Dress code, come into class, just practice good hygiene, please. Possible changes to the syllabus. I will let you know if there are any. Hopefully there won't be, but sometimes things happen. Here's a grading scale, so you can see everything listed out above. I try to make it simple. It's out of 1,000 points. I feel like my grading scale is pretty much in line with other professors. We do have a plus minus system. Unfortunately, we don't have an A plus. I know that's a huge bummer. But you can take a look at that and see what you have questions on. And my dog is barking because I am doing this at home. All right, WIU policies, if you have an interest in those, you can click on the links. And then a little bit about our college. We are accredited AACSB for business and specifically for accounting. So just want you to know you're getting a quality education. And then here is the schedule that I have lined out. And I'm going to pause for just a second. Okay, sorry about that. Trying to quiet the dog down. Anyway, so here's our tentative schedule. Obviously, the first week with me not being here is a little bit different. Uh, watch this. I will show you where the other things are. I also posted an announcement on Western Online with all the steps that you need to be doing this week. All the assignments are in the Getting Started folder in Connect, and they are worth points. If you go back and look at the syllabus, they are worth I don't even remember now, 20 points. There we go. There were 20 points altogether. They were all due by Monday, September 1st. Yes, that is Labor Day, so you don't have school then. Hopefully you can do a little bit each day and not save it all for the evening of September 1st. But if you do, that's okay too. Okay, and then I will see everyone next week. We'll be in Stipes 121. We will be doing chapter 1 that first week. And you'll notice smart book assignments are due first and then the homework assignments. So typically it takes us a week to cover a chapter in class and then chapter 2 the following week. We do have now a business career fair, which I would like everyone to attend. It is on Wednesday, September 17th, 1 to 4 p.m. in the Grand Ballroom. No, you don't have to be there the whole time, even if you're not ready for a career fair. We're going to have some different business professionals there just talking about their career paths and what they do. So for some of you, if you're not at the point of interviewing for internships, I definitely want you to participate in the Career Spotlight. So mark that on your calendar. Then we're doing chapter 3, and then you can see the next week, then we've got our first exam that Thursday, September 25th. So we'll talk more about the schedule. What else did I want to point out? There is an exam, again, your exams are in class. We have 3 exams, so 2 during the semester, and then your last one, I guess I should have highlighted that yellow, is during final exam week. You've got the comprehensive problem. It'll go live November 6th. It'll be due after Thanksgiving break. So that's what the schedule looks like right now. Subject to change, of course, but I like to keep pretty much to the schedule. The only other day that I know we won't have class is this Thursday, October 23rd. But all the other days we should be in class. And that's it for going over the syllabus. Whew, that's a quick scroll. I will post more information in a Connect video, kind of going over the assignments in Connect. So your next step would be to get registered in Connect, and you can take a look at, where was that video? Let me scroll down. Oops, nope, it was up here. Aha. What page is this? Oh, I don't have the pages numbered. But if you come here, navigating and connect, you can watch that video on how to get registered. I'm also going to post a video where I'll go over that quickly, and then I'm going to show you some of the things in Connect. So that's it for now, and I will see you soon.